Hello there. What is going on, everybody? Today we are looking at some terrain, and this is a crashed LAAT we're going to be taking a look at. This comes to us from EpixCustomProps. Big thanks to EpixCustomProps for sending this out. You may have seen recently we reviewed a LAAT that was a not crashed LAAT, but here we have one that is crashed. Apparently it was piloted incorrectly, and we're going to be taking a look at the terrain on this table. We'll probably compare it to some miniatures so you can get a good idea of the size, and also compare it to the other LAAT. And there we go. So if you want to check this out, I'm going to have links down in the description below. Also, if you guys are new here to the channel, we are still giving away a lightsaber. So just make sure you are subscribed and leave a comment on this or one of my videos, and you'll have a chance at that. It's as simple as that. And with all that being said, we're going to look at each one of these pieces, and then we'll put them together. All right, so first part we're going to look at is a wing section that is crashed into the ground. We have little bits of, maybe this is like dirt or sand or snow or something like that. I guess you can paint this to match your the rest of your stuff. I'm not sure what this part is. Maybe this is supports. I don't know if I'm supposed to trim this part off or not, but that's the wing. But you can set it up this way. It's pretty much flat on this side. As far as the height, this one is going to be just under 6 inches tall. So yeah, I've got this is the 6-inch range 1 height. So jump 1 stuff will still be able to fly over this. We do have a lot of paneling and detail in there. At least on this part. This part, not so much, but a little spray paint can probably cover that up. And next we have kind of a base section right here. This one is got a lot of like ground and terrain into it, so I think there's definitely like little bits of like where this could be a swamp or snow or sand or quicksand even. How many of you thought from watching TV as a kid that quicksand was going to be much more significant part of your life than it was? It's not really. I don't think I've ever run into quicksand, so that's good. But yeah, but all right. So this part is kind of, I guess, kind of the midsection of the LAAT itself. Next, we have another piece. This one's kind of, we've got a lot of ground parts with this one, and then we've got some other parts of the LAAT. I think another part of the midsection. I'm not sure if this one actually connects to the rest of it. I think you certainly can, but I don't think it. I think some of these will actually like glue into each other. Like this one. Oh, this one might go like here and onto this one, maybe, or maybe not. And I don't think I'd want them all glued together anyway. I like to like space them apart a little bit, so you can have options with that. We've got the engine, the main kind of recognizable, like the rear of the engine section right here. So this one has, we're flat on this side and on this side, so we can lay it down there, or we can lay it up like that. But since we've got the ground here, I think we kind of want to go this way and just kind of maybe have this one to the side of the board a little bit. We have a lot of paneling in here. Some of it's a little cleaner than others. Some of it's still got, I think, some residue from the printer on there. We've got, we've got these engine grooves here in the back. It's, it could have been a little cleaner there. So that part's a little rough, but this part's much smoother, and some parts of this came out really, really good. So some parts are better than others, but there we go. We got a good look at this piece, and this one's pretty sizable too. So it's and I think this is taller than most miniatures. I've got an unpainted pike right here that you can kind of see. So this is going to have a lot of line of sight blocking capability as well. Sorry about the unpainted stuff. I just recently finished my my Black Sun. I haven't even started on the pikes yet. We have another section right here. This one is mostly terrain, mostly gravel. We've got some of the main gun tubes. This is the top. I think that this section here that we just looked at is meant to connect to this, so this is supposed to be a much larger piece. I'm not 100% sure because it doesn't line up completely right there. So maybe it's supposed to be a separate piece. I'm not sure, because if I go right here, it lines up, but then it doesn't line up right there on that section. So if that part lines up, this is a little too big. Yeah, so I'm not 100% sure how this was supposed to go. I think it's supposed to kind of go like this, but the sizing is off on this tube area here. But I mean, you could still do it, and then I could probably use some like green stuff or some putty or whatever. But I think it's probably better off to keep them as two separate pieces, you know, like on the different edges of the board, you know, or something like that, because then you get more scattered terrain. And then we also have this piece here, which is the front. This is definitely very recognizable. We've got those little gun tubes right there. We've got our kind of cockpit area right there. So this is this part kind of flying around here. I think these are supports. I don't know if this part is supposed to come out, or if this is supposed to be terrain, or much. I'm not sure. I don't 3D print very much, so I'm not sure if this is what this part down here is. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's definitely very tall. Not as tall as the wing. Not the 6 inches tall, but definitely tall enough to provide some line of sight blocking. But we do have some damage to the cockpit there. Of course, that looks like that's by design. Of course, if this ship is crashed, it's not going to be in pristine condition. So that's definitely, you've got like, these are definitely like really cool, really detailed cracks in here. And I don't think these are, I think these are intended, you know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, that's pretty cool for damaged stuff. You don't want something perfectly pristine that's meant to have been like ruined and abandoned kind of on a battlefield. So while some parts are still going to be nice and fresh, you got your other, you know, damaged parts over here. So that's cool. Let's compare this as far as size and stuff to the other LAAT, which I've assembled. All right, so we've got the original LAAT, the one that's not crashed, right over here. And so as far as sizing, I definitely will feel like it's printed at the same scale. So if you had both of these, you could kind of have like your crashed LAAT and your non-crashed LAAT all together. Out of curiosity, how many of you say LAAT? And how many of you, is there anybody that says LAAT? I don't think anybody would actually say that, but I am always a little curious if there's people who have strange pronunciations of things. We have our wing here also about the same, so yeah, pretty much same kind of sizing. But yeah, I do think that these are supports, and I think I'm supposed to, maybe I was supposed to have taken these off, but I'm sure if you're familiar with 3D printing well enough, you can do that. I'm afraid I'm going to break something, so I'm not taking all of those off. But yeah, there we go. That is that. Let me set it up with some minis too, so we can see how it'll look. All right, so just kind of playing around with everything. It definitely is. You know, most of these pieces are all taller than your standard Legion minis, so you're going to have a lot of line of sight blocking, and I like that. Whereas, but without it being too big. So I like the sizing for a lot of these pieces. Not like pros and cons, I guess. The pros is the sizing is good. It's also it's a LAAT. It's a crashed LAAT, so very thematic appropriate, and it kind of pairs well if you have a completed LAAT as well. As far as the cons, it's, you know, sometimes I'm not a big fan of having the terrain sculpted onto it, because then that might limit what tables I can put it on. So like if I paint this sand colors, then now I can't use it on an ice table. So I'm kind of a bigger fan of just having it flat into the ground, and then I can put it on whatever table I want. Other thing is that there were some like little printing things that I'm not sure, like this piece right here, and then like there were some where like I wasn't sure if this was supposed to connect to this or not, and because it didn't exactly line up correctly. Maybe I'm just wrong and it's not supposed to go together at all. But if that's the case, then this has two flat pieces with its like well, minus this part right here, but it's got like, is it supposed to go that way, or is it just meant for you to have the option for both? So I guess that's maybe a good thing and a bad thing. But then you have this, if you put it that way, then you've got this flat side on this side, so then it just looks kind of out of place, right? So I feel like it's supposed to go to something. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's still pretty cool. Still pretty cool. So kind of mixed reviews on this one. But if you want to check it out or learn more or see other stuff, you can head over to Epix Custom Props. I'm going to have a link down in the video description below. And you can definitely check them out for yourself. Big thanks to sending this out for the channel. Also, big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing and help make this channel possible. I will talk to you all later. I want to thank you all so much for watching. May the force be with you. Have a great day. Be excellent to each other and play some games.